introduce you to one of our amazing friends and psychics that I've known for a number of years. Her name is Benedict, but she likes to be called Moonlight Bliss. So for inspiration, she'll be called Moonlight Bliss. And I'd like to introduce you to her. So welcome to our show.
Hello. Hi, Priscilla. How are you?
I'm good, and yourself? Lovely to
I'm
have
good,
you.
thank you. Thank you for welcoming me to the show.
You're very, very welcome. It's always such a pleasure to have new and interesting people in. And, you know, our profession has always been shrouded with a mystery, you know, and intrigue, because that's how it's always been portrayed. But when it comes down to it, we're just genuine people who have a gift that makes us a little bit more special. So I'd love for you to just tell the audience a little bit about yourself, how you came in your journey, because I know it's been quite a traumatic journey. Not all of us have always had an easy life, especially being psychics and mediums and healers. We've all had very traumatic upbringings and incidences happening in our lives. And I feel like that, in a sense, makes us a lot stronger than we are. So I'll leave it up to you, and you've got the floor to tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Thank you. So I am Moonlight Bliss, knowing on TikTok as well. I am a TikToker. I do my live on TikTok. But my journey started, well, I had a pretty tough life. Started as being adopted since I was a baby. So obviously I had a new family, but then I'm not going to go into profound story because I could write it on a book. But I've discovered my gift since a young age, really. I've basically felt as if I knew there was always someone watching me. I pretty felt as if I was kind of like in a different world. I didn't belong here, if that makes sense. I felt as if I came from a different world all the time. At the age of 19, I've decided to go to UK. And then that's when I've discovered my gift. That's when working in a hotel, a very, very antique hotel, actually, I started as a chambermaid because I did not speak any English at that time. And in the room where I was staying, after a month I've been staying there, I could hear noises. I could hear voices in my ear. I couldn't sleep during the night, but I could feel as if my body was being lifted up all the time as well. And then the voices obviously was not clearly words, absolutely not. It was more like a blowing or like, you know. And basically, I remember I was feeling very, very tired. My energy was quite tiring and low, drained. And one of my friends, chambermaid, asked me to come with me to the show where she was seeing a trance medium at that time. And I came along, and funny enough, he just called me out, you know, over the blue in the audience, asking who's the French girl in the room. So of course I am from France, I am French, and I was just purely blown away. And he basically told me that my guides was there, my spirit was there, and basically wanted me to do the gift, like he does. And I've started doing it as a psychometry because that's the way he was telling me to start doing it by myself. I've developed it all by myself, and I keep practicing every day to my friends in the hotel. And then basically just within, let's say, about 2 months, 3 months after that, you know, I was able to do it professionally. I work on television for many, many years as well on Psychic Today. And then, of course, they did ask me to come as a guest in the studio. And yeah, I had a heavy journey, or a pretty good journey. I'm blessed, and I'm very, very happy of what I've discovered with my gift. I am a clairvoyant medium. I'm a healer as well. I'm also an empath.
I know it kind of almost feels like you have to really. I almost kind of feel like you don't have to dig deep in order to find your gift, because it was always there for you. You just had to gain access to it to allow you to do the things that you wanted to do, you know, or to step into that world, because it was something that you weren't used to or didn't know about.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And then, of course, and I can show it to you now, actually. I have my first deck about 25 years now. That's my first deck. And look
Yes.
how old they are, but they're still with me. And this is the deck, my tarot deck that I use when I do
No,
my reading.
I'll
Um,
join you with my deck of also 30 years, my very first deck. So, yeah,
amazing. Amazing, absolutely amazing. Yeah. And I do also have a love and relationship cards as well. I love to talk about love and relationship. Why? Because of course I've experienced quite heaviness in that situation as well. It is my theme. Um, I love helping people. I love the way that I help people. I believe it's kind of a healing towards
yes,
them to be able to move forward, to be able to see who they are, know themselves, who they are, to discover themselves, you know, to make sure that they do know how to love themselves as well. Because I feel it's very, very important to actually love yourself before you can begin a new relationship with someone else.
yes. I feel like it's important because I know, you've shared your history with me, and it wasn't an easy time for you, and especially as a young child, to have to go through what you've gone through, and then to come out of it after that and have this amazing capacity for love, and to help others to find love and happiness. I feel like that's an incredible gift.
It is. It is. I mean, I have been quite lucky because I was also with social services for many, many years. Like I said, I was adopted when I was young.
Yes,
13 months I was adopted. So since then, with the new family who adopted me, I were with social services as well. So during my trauma, they were able to heal me in some way, to find myself in some way, if that makes sense. Um, and I'm not, like
very
I
much
said, I
so.
don't really want to talk about my trauma because that's
Yeah,
not what I'm here for.
exactly.
But I had quite a couple of traumas. Yeah, definitely.
I think that, yeah, you don't want to highlight it, but I feel like the things that happened to us in our past, I certainly know from my own childhood and from my own life, at the time when I was young. um, I feel like all those things that happened to me as a child has actually made me a much more incredibly stronger person, and given me the ability to take my gift to the next level, and have much more compassion and insight in helping other people to achieve success in their own lives.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, I agree with you. It has definitely. I mean, to be honest with you, there is only maybe two or three people who actually know, even yourself now tonight, who
Yes,
actually know what I've been going through at such a young age, and they cannot believe how strong I become. They just cannot believe, and I think it's about having faith. I think it's about hoping. I think it's about knowing that you have a dream and following that dream as well. That heals yourself. Um, and this is something that I want to share to everyone, really. As long as you believe in yourself and you believe that you've got your dream, that you've got that dream that you had such a young age, you can make it happen. And my dream at such a young age wanted to be becoming a teacher. I am a teacher. Um, I've always wanted to be on TV. I've had my journey, on television. Um, Also doing a degree. That also was my dream. Yesterday, I've just graduating my ceremony day on my graduation on BA, Bachelor degree in education. So, this is the way that I want people to understand that if you've got a dream, keep that dream in you, in yourself, in your heart, and make it happen by motivation, by determination, by ambition as well. Um, and keep smiling to people, even if you've got a low day. It doesn't matter. Go to the shop, smile to people. You'll receive the healing back to you with the people who smile at you back. You see what I mean?
exactly. And I feel like, we have gone through so much over the last 5 years. you know, you and I personally have met each other many years ago when we both worked in Birmingham and in Olympia at the Mind Body Spirit. And that's how we got to know each other, along with a plethora of other amazing psychics and mediums. And I always find it so incredibly empowering when you all sit together in the same space and send out the energy to the universe, that it really, you know, it chooses the kind of person that they want to go to help them. And, you know, it was never for me or for you or for the others a competition of who would get the most readings. It was like, okay, who needs to see me so that I can give them the message that they need to help them on their journey. And I think that's important.
Absolutely, I agree with you. I believe that people are drawn to whoever they want as a psychic. At the end of the day, they've got to feel comfortable. They've got to be drawn to someone, whoever they want to have that connection with that psychic, to have that reading with that person. You know, and I believe that a psychic can help you on that journey, whatever you're going through, whoever you are drawn to, you are drawn for a reason to that psychic. So that person can help you to see yourself, to know who you are, and to be able to move forward.
Exactly. And I think it's important. You know, I always say to people, you know, I take my job very responsibly. You know, I take great pride and I enjoy doing what I'm doing because I know that I'm having an effect on somebody's life, or I'm helping them to make peace with their deceased loved ones, or giving them the peace of mind that they need, or the golden nugget that they need to move forward in life. And I feel like it's so important at the moment for us all to be so supportive and helping others to achieve success.
And absolutely, I agree with you, because, you know, me working on TikTok as well, you know, which I do my live now, but usually twice a week because I am busy, but I used to do it nearly every day. And when I used to do every day, you've got, you know, people who are quite demanding towards their question. You know, it's not in a bad way, because I understand where they're coming from. But, you know, they don't understand that actually it is a job that we are doing. Some people think that it's easy what we are doing, but it's not. It's not easy at all. You know, it takes a mindset, and we've got to find a balance between our personal life and the mediumship, or the clairvoyant, or a psychic. You know, we've got to find that balance between the two different lives, if that makes sense. You know, it's very, very important. Our well-being come first, as well as someone else.
Yes, because you've got an amazing TikTok channel. How long ago did you start doing it?
I've been doing it for a year and a half, 2 years now.
Okay. And I see that you've got quite a lot of followers, which is lovely. I think that, you know, since the pandemic hit and everything went crazy in the world, us as psychics and mediums and healers had to find a new way of communicating and being with people that they can still have access to us. And I have been talking about the subject for the last couple of days with various chat shows I've been on. And it's about, you know, having to take yourself online, from seeing people in person to going online and doing things a lot more online. How have you found that transition for yourself as a psychic?
I absolutely love it. I mean, with Psychic Today, I used to do it on Facebook, you know, the live stream on Facebook with the company. So it, you know, I've learned from it. I really did. I've learned from it and absolutely loved it, because it's quick, but then it's quick, it's sharp, but then you go into the bottom of everything or what they want to hear. And I just absolutely love it. I really, really do. And because I love it, I found it easy for me to show my skills towards them. It depends how long the reading's for. I mean, it's, you know, it can be not 20 minutes, of course, because that's a long private reading. But, you know, it depends. Within 5 minutes, sometimes I have to go through with that person, making sure I go into the bottom of the question that they're asking for their answers, basically. But most of the question that comes to me is actually love and relationship.
Yeah. And I mean, we've been, you and I have been doing this for a long time, for many, many years, and we've had our ups and downs. How have you found the transition from doing as opposed to doing things differently, like taking things more online? And I know you've also done the television, and you've been on a TV show with the psychic messages and stuff like that. How have you found that helped you to improve it in a sense?
How did I find the transition? What do you mean by, sorry, I misunderstand.
Okay, so how did the transition from doing things in person as opposed to things more online? And then you've also done the television well, because it's like you do have that barrier of the communication, the electronics. So how did you feel in yourself that you were able to just overcome that transition?
I have my guides. I've got 3 guides working with me. I've got Flying Hawk. Actually, I've never tell anyone on TikTok, I don't usually say the name of my guide. But my main guide is Flying Hawk, and then I've got 2 others, of course, and then of course my lover one. How did I find? I don't know. It just flow. Inside. It's a good question what you're asking me, because nobody has asked me that question before. So actually, it's just flow in me really when I do. I think it means to be me. It means to be for me probably, because it's just flow and I just go for it. Yeah, but I believe that it's also sometimes I feel it's trance what I'm doing. I mean, maybe that sounds crazy what I'm saying, but once I meditate, I always meditate before I go and do my readings. I feel that's very, very important, the meditation, because it helps me to focus, and then asking my guides as well to help me while I am doing the readings. It doesn't matter if it's mediumship, healing, or tarot cards. At the end of the day, they're always there with me, supporting me and giving me description of any message that's coming to me. And sometimes I believe that it's them talking and not me. That sounds crazy, but I had a few people who basically did say to me, you haven't got the same voice, or you haven't got the same figure, but that's probably because I've been doing it for so many, many years as well. So yeah.
People always ask me the same question, like, how do you do it? And sometimes I say, well, I don't know how it happens. It just happens. It flows through me, and I just accept it what I'm meant
exactly
to do.
Yeah, no, and it's a very good question you're asking, because I don't think I had this question for many, many years. So it's a really, really good question. But like I said, it's just flowing me. Yeah, all the information just flowing me.
So I have put told people to put some questions in the chat box for us. And so one of our ladies, Tracy, hi Tracy, she wants to know, how do you deal with hackers on TikTok? How do you deal with hackers on TikTok?
Oh, this is it. I like that question as well. Again, because I've been working on television, the producer has taught us to ignore the trolls, basically ignore the naughty comments. I'm going to put it as naughty comments. They just teach us to ignore it. So again, it's in me. It's natural to me. I just ignore it. And I've got my moderators as well. I've got 3 or 4 moderators who come and help me every time I do my live. So if there's a naughty comment, they will just block it.
Yeah, it's important to sort of have that, because when you start to put yourself out or start to become more popular, or have your face on TikTok and YouTube and Facebook and on television and things like that, you become a lot more well known. There are always going to be those people that will try to interfere or to bring you down or make crazy comments, all to sort of rock the boat in a sense. And so I also do the same. I just ignore the comment and just move on, or block the person, because they're just trying to get you to interact with them and have a debate over the internet, and it's not worth that energy.
And then again, I do like Tracy's question, because yes, there is trolls, And the more that you entertain the trolls, the more they're going to love it. So the best thing to do is just ignore it completely. And then again, like I said, I've got my moderators to block it right away. That's their job. They're making sure that I am secure in my life, and I am happy. And they are doing a great job. I had them since the beginning of my journey on TikTok as well. But then also, I have to say, there is so many judgment, and maybe Tracy is also on TikTok. I'm not so sure, but I've got, not me personally, but there is so many psychic. There's some psychic feels as if they have to be on competition, which really, and honestly, there is no competition between psychic. There shouldn't be any competition with psychic. Absolutely not, because everybody is individual. Everybody has got their different gifts. And that's the problem. They don't understand how the media work, you see, and some psychic easily judging other psychic as well. I've witnessed that. I've seen it. I see it every day. But I just keep myself to myself. I'll be honest with you. Once I finish my live, usually my live lasts for an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. And I just switched off everything and I do my own things at home. And yeah, that's it, really. So I don't listen to anyone else up there.
And, I mean, we've known each other for a number of years, and we've had the privilege of working together at shows. And I've always found it incredibly empowering. And I did, you and I both know that there was only a select few of people that we connected with or associated with, because not all of the psychics would want to deal and connect with us. And I actually found that quite sad in a sense, because we were all there for the same purpose. And people always say to me, "Oh, Priscilla, you've got this channel and you've got this." We do the Psychic Zoom online as well every month. And you have all these other psychics and you're always promoting all the psychics. What about you? And I said, well, I get just as much joy from helping other people, because I believe that there is always enough. There's always abundance for everybody. And why must we put people down instead of, bringing each other up? We're all going up together in the same direction. And I think that's important, is that we need to support each other.
It's supposed to be that way.
Yes. And listening to all the messages, because I get just as much joy, because I know a lot of the people that are on the shows with me. And when the psychics give a message, I go, yes, I'm so happy that they got that message. Now they need to listen, because I've said the same thing to them. So it's just wonderful, confirmation that that other psychics have the same wavelength as you do.
Yeah. Absolutely. They're supposing to support each other, the psychic. Absolutely. And before I came on TikTok, that's the way it was. So that's the only way I know things is, if you met a psychic, like you said, in a show, and we've done show together, we were supporting together. Even on Psychic Today, they were supporting together. They were all supporting each other. But then on TikTok is a different thing. Absolutely different. And personally, I find it best. For me, it works better to just keep myself to myself and not to socialize too much with psychic on TikTok, because there's so much judgment. It's unbelievable. Not from me, trust me, not from me. And it never happened to me yet. So I cross fingers. Like I said, I just keep myself to myself. And I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, exactly. Tracy said, thank you, was a great answer.
Thank you.
To your comment. Thank you, Tracy. If anybody else would like to ask Moonlight Bliss anything, please feel free to put all the comments in the chat box, and she'll endeavor to answer all your questions. And we'd just like to say hello to a few people. Hello to Tracy and to Linda. A friend of yours, Sam Frost, is on, and she sends her greetings and love to you, supporting you as well. And got Suki. Hi, Suki. And, you also know her as well. We've all worked together. Yes. So it's lots of love from everybody around. So when you're looking at your journey, say, over the next couple of years, what do you want for yourself going forward? Where do you see you taking your gift and your ability forward, say, over the next 5 years? What's your goals?
Ooh, I love that. Is it what's my goal as a psychic, or what's my goal in general?
Just in general, because you're not just a sick, you're also a woman, you're also a parent, you're also a daughter, you also a lot of other things besides being a psychic. So what does it look like for Midnight Bliss in 5 years' time?
Well, in the next 5 years, it's true. I always like to level up myself. The next 5 years, I believe I will be doing my master in education. I am hoping. If not, there is always a way to move up from being a teacher and being a senior teacher and then being a deputy and then being a head. So that's something I would like to work on. Now, of course, I am a French teacher and Spanish teacher. So again, I've got these two languages, obviously on my side, and I think that's a benefit towards me. So I can always become, in the next 5 years, head of languages in secondary school, because that's my goal, to work in secondary school. So yes, why not?
Exactly. We don't have to just be put into one specific box. We can have many different aspects to ourselves. And I think it's important to help us to grow as people and as human beings.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you can have many, many goals. I'm not so sure who's been asking that question. Is it Zuki or is it Tracy or Linda? Who is it?
Sorry, what was that?
That question about the goals. I don't know. Someone was asking about the question about the goals. There could be more than one goals, but to me, I stick to one goal, and then later on, I go to another goal, if that makes sense. If that one doesn't work, or if it's more difficult than the other goal, then there's many different goals, of course, that I do have, but there's always one dream, and that's to level up as a teacher. So yes.
Yeah, I always see you as a role of a teacher. You've got that sort of energy of being able to impart knowledge to others. And I always just feel like, the things that we do and the path that we take makes us stronger, conflict, conviction of what we want to do going forward. So Sam has given us a very long one. So we'll have a little read of what Sam has got to say. She's saying, how do you find out what your life journey is, your mission in life? I know I'm on a twin flame journey, but do we have more journeys, like being a healer, etc.? How do you find out? So that's quite a bit. She's going through quite a lot.
Yeah. So we do have more than one twin flame, I believe. Okay, I don't think we just have one twin flame, and I think it depends on how you are in your circle of friends as well, how you deal with your own self in your circle. I had a tough life regarding a relationship, my last one with my children's father, which, I'm not going to, I'm going to say he was a narcissist. And I'm sure some of you will probably know what narcissists mean. But I do feel as if I was controlled, not being able to be doing what I wanted to do, even in a relationship, if that makes sense. That's the way I was being treated, not being worth it of myself. So regarding your journey, that's how, I've just closed the door. I basically had enough. I think, even if you being in a relationship for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, once you have enough, and you just close the door. And I think that's what I did for myself. I've just closed the door. I think that was very important, especially when I was starting doing my degree. I didn't have no support whatsoever. I
mean, I feel like maybe from even from my point of view, it's about, you can't do everything all at once. So you've got to take steps in life, and you've got to take steps to go up in life. So that's very important, that you are able to take the different steps in life and go forward. So finding your mission is kind of like, sometimes it can be like a pin in a haystack, because it can take you quite a while to find things, and you'll go through many different things to get to that point where you think, okay, this is what I want to be doing, and this is where I need to go. Sometimes life can even lead you in a different direction than you planned. You think, okay, well, I'm going to be a doctor and you end up being a marine biologist. So sometimes life can take you in a completely different direction, but it's about being open to what the life, the world outside is offering us as well.
Absolutely.
And once you're a healer, I think you're always a healer. So I think you can be a healer from the time that you're small. You'll have that energy. I always say there's many different kinds of healers. There are healers that are natural born healers that can use their voice to help others, because in counseling and helping others to find their peace, that is healing in another aspect. There's the people that do physical healing like Reiki and quantum touch and things like that. So there's a whole variety of different healing.
Absolutely. And that's funny that you mentioned that, Priscilla, because every time I do my live on TikTok, I've got a few people who comes to me, oh, I feel better. I feel so much better now. Thank you. So I do believe using my voice is some kind of a healing as well. And then I had a bird, my friend who had a bird. She has got 2 birds. And she was telling me one day, oh, Benedicte, I think my bird is dying. And I'm like, really? Show me a picture. She showed me a picture, and basically I gave healing to the bird. The bird was fine. The bird was actually fine within 20 minutes, 15 minutes. The bird was absolutely fine. Back live, singing. So, healing, there is a different way you can use healing. Absolutely. It's a gift. Same as a psychic and, medium. It's another gift.
Exactly. And, you just hone it in and you learn about it more, or, you just accept it and just work on it as you go through, because you can't be an expert when you don't have any knowledge.
Exactly.
You can have something, but not know how to work it. You can have a car, but if you don't know how to drive a car, it's not going to be any use to you. So it's important that you have those gifts. So another one of our listeners has sent another message in here. Do you envision the link between psychics and spirit getting stronger as we move towards the 5th dimension? Now that's a lovely question. Hi, Istvan.
Well, I'm not so sure about the 5th dimension. I've got to be honest here, because I take days as it comes. So I know there's some people talking about 5th dimension, but I don't really. As far as I'm concerned, the more that I grow myself, the more my spirit gets stronger with me. That's the way I see things. I don't know. I mean, you can help me out, Priscilla. I don't know what to say for that question. I'll be honest with you, because I don't really understand the 5th dimension, and I've got to be honest. The 5th dimension or 3rd dimension, as far as I'm concerned, I'm here every day and I do my work every day. And as much as I believe in myself, that's the way I do my readings. Like I do my readings as tarot cards. I do it probably differently from any other person. I think
what Isfan is trying to ask about is that everything is changing. Like the world is changing, the energy of the planet is changing, how we see things are changing, and they have been now over the last couple of years. And I think that everything that happened to us, or the experiences we have had over the couple of years, has allowed us to not unsee something. So once you've seen something or know something or have the knowledge of something, you can't unsee it or unknow it. So how would you then, in terms of the knowledge that you've gained as a psychic and how things have changed over the last couple of years, how do you then use that to improve your gifts and your connection with spirit?
I didn't even thought about it. I don't think there were any issue for me to. Like I said, I've just become stronger and stronger every day. I love the nature. So the nature will be a healing towards me. Since a young age, again, I've always been in the nature. I've always been walking in the forest by myself. It never scares me. Yes, the planet needs to heal. And I believe that we are here to heal it. As much as I'm an on-path person who will be able to heal the planet, and I believe that the more stronger that you become, the more that you're able to heal it automatically. That's what I believe. I don't know. It's quite a tough question, I must say. That's a tough question.
Yeah, it is quite a tough question. It's very, you know, you've got to sort of dive quite deeply into what we do as you know, spiritual beings. So I feel like maybe in a sense it can help us to better understand who we are as people, maybe to apply our gifts in a different way, to really embrace who we are as people. You know, certainly everybody that I know that has had this journey and is doing the similar work to us, whether they're healers or psychics or mediums or clairvoyants or numerologists or astrologers, whatever they do within this realm, I feel like the journey that they've taken to where they are now, it's kind of like they've been led to their, as you say, heal the planet, to offer healing to the planet, not just to the physical planet, but to also to the people that are inhabiting it. And I think that's most important, is because if we can help to heal the people that inhabit our planet, it can really help us to heal the planet itself, because then there becomes awareness and awakening within them.
Absolutely. And I don't think as a psychic, or personally, I haven't changed. I've grown and I get stronger, but I don't think my gift has changed at all. It has not affected my gift at all. If that's the answer you wanted to hear. But now,
Yeah.
my gift is my gift. My guides are my guides, and my main guide has always been with me since a young age. And I work with my guides. I've got more than one. So yeah, they've always been, you know, a guide can change as well, depending on your situation of your life that you're going through. So as far as I'm concerned,
Exactly.
I'm aware that the planet needs to heal. I am aware of that. And I believe that the more that you are kind to people, the more the planet is being healed. But I understand where you're coming from. That right now there is quite a lot of situation that needs to heal.
Yes, it does.
You know, yeah.
So Elsa has given us a message. Hi, ladies. For me, it's not really about the fifth dimension. It's more to let my soul take this, take the steering wheel. So that's quite good, because, you know, as much as you want to step into the fifth dimension and embrace it, I feel like not everybody's ready to have that, what I would call awakening to the fifth dimension. But I feel like if your soul and your energy is ready to take the steering wheel of your life and guide it in a good direction, I think that's what's important. And I think as psychics, there to give you that insight into your journey. How do you feel about that?
Yes. It is very important that a psychic should give you an insight in your journey. I think everybody needs a psychic at the end of the day. Everybody needs a guidance. A psychic is not there to change things for you. No. We haven't got a magic wand to change things for all of you. Absolutely not. But we are there to motivate you in order for you to be able to move forward happily without fear in your life journey. Hope that makes sense to what I'm saying. But yeah, yes, that's the way I would say it.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like it's so important to know that we're doing the right things for ourselves. And so for Elsa, yeah, it's very important to, you know, take control of your life, because nobody else can take control of your life but you. You're the only driver of your life. You can't allow anybody else to be in the driving seat of your life going forward, because that's not how it works, you know, in the world. We do sometimes do that. We give up our power or our seat in the driving seat, and we allow other people to steer our lives in a direction that is not the right thing for us. So yeah, it's very important also to really step into the awareness of who you are and what's going to make it important for you to take the journey that you need to take. It can go against everything that we believe in and what, you know, your family and friends believe in. But you know what, if you've got that conviction about taking a step in your life, then do it.
Yeah,
because it's your life.
absolutely. Now, the only thing I don't look into is health, because I'm not a qualified doctor. So health matter, even on TikTok, I don't do health matter. Um,
Yeah,
but otherwise, anything else, yes, of course, I will look into it and I will give you the guidance that you need. And only if you can, if you are, voluntarily wanting to change it yourself, then that's great. Some people can listen to a psychic, but not wanting to do the changes, if that makes sense, or having too much
yeah,
fear of the changes that they come back to the same psychic, or they will come to a different psychic and ask the same question. Believe me, a fear, you creating it in your mind. There's no fear, does not exist. You are the one who's creating it in your mind. So if you put aside the fear and move forward, you probably would have a lot more positivity coming to you. And then you're probably going to think yourself, oh, you know what? I don't know why I was fearing for. I don't know why this, why that. Do you see what I mean? And you will be a lot more happy in yourself for the rest of you got. So, yeah.
exactly. So yeah, she says, what I mean is that I had to let go of my ego so my soul can lead me. Exactly right, Elsa. You have to let go of the ego. We have this crazy thing called ego that can sometimes take us down the wrong path, or make us make the wrong decisions about where our soul needs to go. So especially, I think, in the field that we're in, I don't know about Moonlight Bliss, you certainly cannot have any ego, because spirit don't enjoy ego. You are just a conduit. The messages and gifts you're getting are coming through you, not from you. And I feel like that's what everybody has to understand. A psychic is born this way. You're not cultivated, you're born this way. You always have this gift, and you always have this link with the divine, with your guides, and are able to channel their messages to help the people in this world. And I feel like if you can get your soul to heal and you're able to let go of that ego, that's what's important. Because if once you start letting the ego control you and drive you forward, then things go awry, and you don't achieve the success that you want. How do you feel?
Oh, I completely agree with you, Priscilla. Well said. I do believe that ego will block your gift anyway. And like you said, spirit don't like ego. I like myself, I'm a psychic, but if I go to a reader, it would have to be a reader who is someone that I study, basically, that I listen before going to that person, that I feel the energy with, and that person hasn't got no ego. So I want to be with someone who is themselves without having that ego in themselves, if that makes sense. So, yeah.
Yeah,
But I do believe that ego block yourself. Absolutely. I think the spirit probably blocking that,
exactly.
that energy. That's what I believe.
Yes, definitely. And I feel like, there is just so much out there in the world at the moment. And I found that having to find compassion and light has been very important in my journey, specifically finding compassion and light within the people that I'm dealing with. Because a lot of people have come in with a lot of things that have just suddenly been put onto their plate, or risen up that they've maybe buried for 50 years or 20 years or whatever, and suddenly now is surfacing, and they have to deal with that. How would you sort of help people through something like that? Say, for example, somebody, if we take our own backgrounds and we say, well, how would you help that person, that child or the adult like yourself, to step through that and make a life for themselves that is going to make them happy and contented?
To stick through what? Sorry, Priscilla?
Okay, so if they let go of everything in their life, it's important for them to say, okay, if I let go of the past, how do I let go of it and not allow it to drag me back, to allow my soul to be at peace?
Right, okay. So a change is very, very difficult to do. And everybody's fear about change at the end of the day, especially when you don't know the unknown, if that makes sense, of moving forward. And, you know, as well as relationship. When it's time to close the door, only you know when it's time to close the door. I believe that only you would know when it's time for the change, if that makes sense. And having that faith and believing in yourself and the acceptance of your past as well. Your past is the past. You know, there is no need for you to dwell of the past, and being able to move forward and believing in you. I think that's a big step for the change to happen, if that makes sense. But if you keep having, you know, the issue of yourself, you perhaps finish that relationship and then you keep dwelling on that relationship. You know, you're feeling stuck in your mind. You keep thinking of that person. Oh, and I don't know why he left me. He just left me in the limbo. Why me? Why me? Why me? And oh, what if, for example, if you think like that, then you are going to feel stuck and you're not going to be able to move forward. But if you know yourself, that you believe in yourself and you accept the past for what it has been happening, it doesn't mean that the next person that you are going to meet is going to be the same person. Also, your circle of friends are very important. So if you still mingle with the same friends of your ex, for example, that can also be an issue for you to be able to move forward. I'm just saying, because they would be able, because the friends could be saying things to him, and then that person could be, you see what I mean? And yes. For that matter, you won't be able to change. You won't be able to move forward. So,
So, but what if it's like, for example, family? Now that's even a little bit harder. So say, for example, brothers and sisters, and they have a big falling out. How do you walk away and not allow it to affect you?
Or you don't completely walk away. It depends on anybody's situation at the end of the day with family. If you have, for example, a narcissist mother or narcissist father, I never say to walk away completely from that situation, because that is your family, but you can keep a distance from that person. You know, if, you know, for example, if you're an adult and you're living in a different house from your parents, for example, you would be able to keep a distance from that person towards you, if that makes sense, and being able to move forward, being able to accept the changes. I mean, that's what I would say.
Difficult. Yeah. Sometimes it's difficult to let go and to move on and things
I
like
never
that.
say, I never say to completely, you know, oh no, do not stop talking to them. No, I never say that when it comes to family, because I feel it's important, you know, and only you can decide as well, not for the psychic, it's for you to decide as well when you will be able to move forward without no communication whatsoever with your parents. I never say not having no communication with your family, but I would say to keep a distance, absolutely.
Right. Yeah, it is important. And it helps you to resolve things as well, because, you know, you can be angry in the moment, and it can be very hurtful and things like that. But you never know down the road if there can be healing and forgiveness. You know, we always have to look at that as well.
Yeah. The communication is a key as well. Communication is very, very important. Now, communication in a relationship, you know, that's the same thing. However, family-wise, it's very, very important. If there's no communication, how do you expect to be in a relationship with someone if there's no communication? And it's the same for the family. And then, of course, like Priscilla just said, there's no point shouting, because shouting or argument, you're just wasting your energy. You're wasting theirs, and there's a temper there, and you're only making things worse as well. So it's best to just walk away in that moment. If they're shouting at you, if they argue with you, that's fine. Let them do it, but don't entertain it, okay? And just walk away, and then later on, when they're more calm, then explain to them the situation. Once they are able to listen. If they are not being able to listen, I will still say to you, don't entertain it, because it's not fair on you, and then just walk away whenever they are ready to listen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Great. Put your questions in the chat box if you want Moonlight Bliss to offer you any advice or pearls of wisdom as she's imparting it all to us this evening. It's been such a beautiful pleasure to have her on board. So please pop your questions in the chat box because we've got quite a few people on listening. So if you've got anything you want to ask her, now's the time. Otherwise, it's going to be too late. So, I know you lived in France and now you're living in the UK. You're living in London, am I right?
Yes.
Living in London? Yeah. So how did you find that as a change? Because living from France to London is a big change, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I was 19 years old when I moved from France to UK. So at that age, you've got no fear, are you? Really and honestly.
Yes.
Yeah, you
Yes.
just go for it. And I was going to meet my new boyfriend, you know, and meeting his family at that time, ex-boyfriend, by the way, now. But yeah, and I believe that at that age, you're still a child. You really don't have no fear. And you just like getting excited and, oh, you know, and at that time I was supposed to go for holiday as well. And then knowing that his mother basically knew that I had no family in France, she basically says to me, well, why don't you start and do a new life here in UK? And I said, all right then, okay, fine. And yeah, she just helped me. She was teaching me English. And you know, both of us were with a dictionary as well. That was quite funny. But she had a lot of patience for me, and she's still my mum, my English mum, if that makes sense. Yeah, it was quite good at 19 years old. It's not something I'll be able to do it again. I don't think I'd be able to just go for it. You know what I mean? Over the blue, just one night, pack your bags and go. I don't think I'd be able to do that again at my age. But I think when you're 19 years old, you're still a child. And I'm sure you would understand anyone who's got children at 19 years old. I'm pretty sure you would understand, you know, like there's no fear at that age. So you just move forward. You just don't care. You don't know what's happening on front and you're just living the past. And that's exactly what I did. I don't regret it. I had such a bad past. So that, you know, I didn't really want to live in France at the end of the day because there were nothing holding me in France personally. And I don't regret it until now. I've achieved quite a lot more in UK than what I did in France. So yeah.
Yeah. Elsa asks, she says, how do I step into my healing role? Everyone thinks I'm crazy. Well, Elsa, you know, as I said before, you've got to follow your own path. Nobody can live your life for you. You've got to do what's going to make you happy. And the way to step into a healing path is to be a healer, is just to do what you need to do. Step into it, study it, go and do courses and training, whatever you feel like you need to do as a healer. Just go and do it. Stop procrastinating about it or thinking about it. Just go and do it. That's a plain and simple advice because, you know, you can ask and, you know, wait and wait and wait and then it nothing's. And in between, people think you're crazy. Well, you know, join the club. Sam Frost has asked a lovely question. She says, any tips on healing your feminine energy and being happy within yourself?
Yes, it's all about loving yourself, my darling. A very easy word, isn't it? Loving yourself, but it's very, very difficult for you to be able to. And I don't know you. I'm so sorry. But I'm going to talk as individual for each woman up there. Very difficult for us, whoever has been going through a tough journey in their life, and I believe that everybody's been going through a tough journey. It's not just my own story. I believe everybody has got their own story. The most difficult things to do when you're loving yourself, when you have to love yourself, is actually looking at yourself in the mirror, and give yourself a smile and to say to yourself how much you love yourself, how much you are beautiful, how much you love each part of your body. It's very, very difficult, but I've done it, and it's a kind of a healing as well. And I believe that because in 2010 I had breast cancer as well. So I believe that was my way to to be able to heal myself was to do my affirmation, believing on my positive affirmation. I was doing affirmation every day. And I didn't stop doing it. Even on my, surgeon was telling me to do also meditation. She was, really great surgeon. She knew I was going through stress as well at the time. So I believe that, for everybody to do a positive affirmation, it is the key for you to be able to move forward, to love yourself. It is the key for you to heal yourself on loving yourself. Absolutely. But you've got to believe, you've got to feel it, you've got to feel that energy, you've got to have that passion in you, feel that high vibration in you as well. When you're saying it, it's easy to say the positive affirmation, but you've got to believe it, and you've got to feel that high vibration in you.
Exactly. It's so important to heal the feminine energy first, because that's what makes us who we are as female and as women going forward in life. And so it's important to be happy with yourself, because otherwise, it's
Absolutely.
all just smoke and mirrors kind of thing. Morningstar says, isn't aging an ailment, or why can't we heal it after it? Yeah, we all wish we could reverse the signs of aging, especially the gray hairs. But it doesn't always work that way. So, okay, Madame. So if I ask you, what would be your words of wisdom for everybody listening tonight? What would you offer in terms of...
The word of wisdom I would definitely say is that please do not give up on yourself. Like I said early on, each one of us have got our own story that we could write in the book, and our own story can motivate someone else as well, not just ourselves. So determination, loving yourself also is a key, and definitely work on your positive affirmation, because seriously speaking, I've been going through it. I've done the positive affirmation. I am a witness, and believe me, they work as long as you believe in yourself. They work. You feel that beautiful brand new energy in you, the high vibration, and you keep doing it every day. And when you're on a low mood, please don't do it at a time. Wait until you do your meditation, and you say your positive affirmation, and believe me, it does work. Healing yourself is the most important thing. Loving yourself as well. Determination, it's another key. Absolutely.
Definitely. Strength and determination is always two wonderful qualities to aspire to going forward. I wanted to just say thank you so much to our beautiful, beautiful Moonlight Bliss. It's always such a pleasure to interact with you and to share space with you. I love your energy, and I love what you put out into the world, which is honest and pure and love.
Oh, thank you.
And it's always just such a pleasure to just chat with you. And we haven't seen each other for ages.
I know. I'm so sorry. The sound was very low, so that's why I was doing this. I do apologize, but it's so lovely speaking to you, Priscilla, and I can't wait to meet you again. I know.
I know. And if anybody would love to get in touch with Laurent, with Moonlight Bliss, it's laurent@hotmail.co.uk. That's her email address if you want to just drop her an email or have a chat with her or have a booking. And then she's also on TikTok under Moonlight Bliss. Am I right?
Moonlight Bliss 1.
Moonlight Bliss 1. So if you go to TikTok and you type in Moonlight Bliss 1, you'll find her there, and you can follow her on TikTok. And she's got some wonderful things. I even saw you doing some karaoke the other night. So
yeah.
So it's always good to see the funny side of life and to just embrace life to the fullest.
Absolutely. So, I agree. Thank you so much for having me, Priscilla.
Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody, for joining us and for all the wonderful questions. And I hope that we will to see each other soon. And look out, same time next week. We'll have wonderful new guests. So watch this space. Thank you, everybody. Have a good evening.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.